Okay, so this is my Sprint 4 update. Start off with the demo, and the way the user can navigate to the screens that I worked on is if you click on a plan from the Plans tab, and in the upper right corner, you can navigate to plan options. And I first added a notification modal, so if the user clicks on this button, then this will pop up, and they will be able to use this drop down to um, edit their notification settings. They can set it so only they receive notifications, or if the notifications are turned off. And then if they click on dates of trip, they'll be able to edit the dates of the trip. There's no date picker here right now, but that's something I'll add in the next sprint. And then if they click on manage collaborators, it'll bring them to this collaborator screen. And what was changed here was the text boxes were made to be more uniform with other screens in the app, and this flat list was implemented. That way the user can scroll through everyone who's going on the trip. If there's too many people to see on the if there's more than, let's say, 5 users, then the user will be able to scroll through whoever's going on the trip. So in GitHub, here, right before the render, this, I edited the header to be more uniform with the other screens in the app. So as you can see, invite collaborators, the header is above this line. Before it was below it, so I just fixed that. And here, where you see all of these different names, these are all the avatars that are being saved into this avatars. Eventually, this will not be hard-coded, and it will be populated by actual users who create accounts. But this is so we can pass avatars into the flat list. And let's see here where it says dynamic input. That's where I made the text boxes more uniform with the rest of the app. And here is the implementation of the flat list. Scroll horizontally, and you pass in avatars. Let's see, fixing the... Here I just edited the text boxes some more and added some styling. And then here I made the notification modal in its own JS file. But I learned that when you're implementing a modal, it actually is easier to make the modal in the screen instead of making the modal its own file. So I think when I go down to plan options, you can see that I actually created the modal in this screen, in this page. And here I edited the header like I showed you previously. And here are the states for the modal, so that way the user will click. If the user clicks on it, it'll change so that it is visible. And when the user clicks, for example, in my notification modal, when they click OK, then the modal will go away. And let's see. Oh, see, for right here. Oh, that's not it. That's the toggle button. Oh, notifications. Let's see. Oh, yeah, right here. Toggle notifications modal. On press, it'll pop up, and then if you press OK, it'll go away. Here is the modal for... Oh, here's the modal for the... This is the drop down. When you click on the notifications modal, this is the drop down that pops up for the user to edit. And here's the modal for the dates of the trip. I think that is everything, and then just all of the styling for the modal. Yes. And so, if we go to Gantt, here are the hours that I put in on that first half of the sprint, 8 hours. I worked a lot on the collab screen just because the flat list was really difficult for me to understand and to implement. And then on the second half of the sprint, the modals weren't too difficult, so I put in some time on those. And then on that last Sunday, I put in more work into the plan option screen. Sorry. And so for my tasks for the next sprint, I'm going to work on creating a modal for the delete plan. That way, when the user clicks on this, something will pop up like, "Are you sure you want to delete this?" And I also want to implement the date picker. Let's see. This is all happening in plan settings. I also want to implement the date picker. So when the user clicks plans of trip or dates of trip, then they'll be able to scroll through. And I want to make that compatible for iOS and Android. I know they're a little different. And there's also a modal that I worked on, and I don't know, I don't think it's on here yet, but there's a share plan modal that's going to pop up so the user can export their plan either through email or text message, and that's something I'm going to work on as well. I don't know exactly how to do that, but I'm sure I'll find out. Let's just go to Trello, make sure I got everything. And yeah,